Tonight on Killing Eve, we're covering 2 episodes in one. Nico and Eve hit a rough patch, Villanelle puts on a show, and we finally find out who this ghost killer is. We'll be right back.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
What's up, guys? We missed you last week. We were celebrating Easter, eating some good food like we were talking about before. Welcome back. We're covering 2 episodes in one. For Killing Eve, episode 3 was The Hungry Caterpillar, and this one is Desperate Times. I'm Haley J. Next to me.
Hi, guys. I'm Delia Gomez.
What's up, party people? I'm Erica Edwards.
So we have no time to waste. We have a lot to get into covering the 2 episodes. So the first thing I wanted to touch on was Nico and Eve. They get in a fight at Nico's event at school. And then we meet this new teacher, Jenna, who's very much interested in Nico. And then we see how Villanelle kind of gets her way in there, encouraging Jenna to go after him. We're going to talk about Villanelle in this most recent episode, putting on a show in a not so friendly way with the pig and the slaughter and all of that was very interesting. We got to talk about that. And we finally put a face to this ghost killer who I think we actually found her quicker than I was expecting.
Right.
So I'm excited to see what happens next with that. But first of all, and then of course we have our special segment where we're going to highlight Woman of the Week. It's either going to be someone in a positive light or a negative light if she's anything like Villanelle. So starting off, what did you guys think overall of this episode?
Overall, of this episode, I really liked it. There was a lot that came at us this episode, so I was really happy with the pacing and all the information that we got, because usually they leave us kind of guessing, but I was really excited.
Yeah, it was really interesting. I really enjoyed... some of it was a surprise, but I wasn't really that surprised that Constantine sort of double-crossed Eve or whatever. So I was like, yeah, okay.
It's like you can't really trust anyone, right? You never really
exactly.
know.
Yeah,
Last episode did feel a little slower to me, or maybe it was the 2 weeks ago, the one we all watched together. It felt a little bit slow, but now it seems to make sense to build the momentum for everything kind of to unfold at once. We needed to mentally prepare for all this going
it's like
on.
Picking up now. You're just trying to see we got the introductions, we kind of understand where the story's going, but now it's gonna all make sense because they took us baby steps through it. And I have to say, in this episode, that stood out to me immediately. There's so much going on, and I loved it, but I'm like, her fashion game is so on point in these episodes. The look with the earrings and with the girl asking her to take the Instagram picture, I'm like, that is fitting because she looks awesome. She looks amazing.
I really
love
liked
her
that.
style.
And the sprinkle sandwich, am I the only one that thought, that could be kind of good? I mean, probably better at like 2 a.m. after a few cocktails, but I love the mix of humor that they throw in because it is a dark show when you're thinking about the concept. What they're actually doing is awful. Yeah. But with the humor, I think that's why people, like we've said this before, love the show so much.
It's so good.
Would you guys be down for a sprinkle sandwich?
I would be.
She was eating it dry though, right? She needs some peanut butter or something. Like, get a little more creative. But on to the real stuff. So the first thing we have to dive into is what happened between Nico and Eve at school. So Eve notices the apple that Villanelle leaves for her when she's trying to get steamy. Finally, her and Nico get a romantic moment and leave it to Villanelle to ruin it. So we saw that Eve responded thinking that it was going to be this dangerous situation for everyone at the school, which then turned Nico into thinking she's making it all about her. And we see kind of the split of the relationship kind of tearing at them. The stress is obviously causing a rift. Is it rift or rift? You know what I mean?
I know what you mean, girl. I know what you mean.
And then it doesn't help that this teacher, Jenna, who I don't know based on this episode if we'll see again, has the hots for him. So what do you guys think about Villanelle leaving that apple for her, encouraging Jenna to go after Nico? She's obviously trying to split them up.
Right.
What do you think is happening with that?
That's so typical of Villanelle, right? Like, she wants Eve for herself. And I was kind of surprised that there was someone on the side for Nico. Like, I kind of didn't really think about him, like, finding somebody else or someone else being interested in him, which I was kind of like, you know what? You deserve to have someone who wants you. And
do we think he's interested in her,
I don't know if he's interested in her yet, but I'm happy about the option since Eve is very clearly not being the wife that he needs right now.
Yeah, I found it interesting. I mean, I wasn't really that surprised, and I think Villanelle tried to break up. That's how she first got incarcerated was because she attacked the husband of the first woman that she was in love with. So I wasn't that, I wasn't really that surprised. And it was interesting that he was getting these, that she was doing these harassing calls. So I feel like, she'll come back to that later, in later episodes, I would assume.
And we still see Eve caught in this place where she wants the normal life with Nico, but there's there's a darkness to her. So yeah, that's the thing. Do we think if she had to pick one or the other, do you think Nico would get the boot? Because I think that's the life she wants on the outside. She wants that picture perfect for other people, but I don't think that's truly her.
I think now I understand with the new episode when she was talking to Hugo. It's like, I'm in this game the same reason you are. I didn't want a boring life. And I was like, that's it. I was like, you don't want a boring life. And I get it now.
We're peeling back the layers a little bit on these characters and really seeing where their heart lies. And I do I'll get into this a little bit later, but we saw a lot more emotion from Villanelle in this episode, and it kind of takes back to the whole principle of no matter what you do, you're still a person. You still have feelings. Yeah, right. And she's still in there at the end of the day, even though we do see her feel very detached from her killings, which a normal person, not a psychopath, would not be able to do something like that and just, I didn't really feel much. It's fine. And you're not getting takeout. Exactly. It's not a casual thing, Yeah. So to see that side of her, I did really like that. And then we saw Nico get upset about coming home to find a security guard in this last episode. How would you guys feel? And even the trust in your relationship, the trust in your life, if you came home and your significant other said, there's a security guard here for us and that's life now, what would you do?
I don't know. That's so crazy.
I haven't really thought about this one, have you?
Yeah. No, I mean, that would be, it's like, okay, you couldn't text me or something. So that's the part where how did she forget? Because that was 2 episodes ago. So how did she forget in all that time?
That's huge.
To mention that the security guard, and it seemed like it was a while ago when she and Carolyn thought about it. So I was like, why is he showing up now?
Right? I'd be pissed. Yeah. The whole time you've known about this and I'm an afterthought. So that's where my anger would be, is that I'm not even on your radar.
Right.
I agree with that completely. I think the bigger message behind it wasn't, I forgot to tell you. It was, you are so far along the line of things that I have to do in my life that it didn't even occur to me that you should immediately know. Because I think we would want our significant other to know as soon as possible when something like that happens. So it just, I think it's showing the distance even more so in these little ways of, she didn't tell him. We're starting to pick up all these little things that.
Yeah, especially that Nico was having dinner with the bodyguard instead of Eve. He was already planning on making dinner for him. They were having a moment. Oh, by the way, Eve, welcome. Thank you for joining us. It's yeah, you haven't been around.
But Nico doesn't seem to be giving up on Eve. I think he specifically, what did he say? He told her that he said, come back, that this isn't normal. I know that you're still in there. So he's literally asking her, come back to me and be the person I know you can be. But I think Eve's too far gone, and I think that the real her is coming out, and I don't think Nico likes that side. Yeah. And he's obviously suspicious of Villanelle, which I think, she's putting on her defense and her guard up because she doesn't want to admit that that is true, and she is obsessed with her in the case, and talking to Nico saying, believe it or not, the case is about more than just Villanelle. Do we think he's buying that?
No, I think when he asked her to come back, and she just walks away from him, I think that's the moment Nico was done. I do think in my opinion, that's how I saw it. He's just all right, I've tried, I'm trying, and clearly you don't want to meet me halfway. So that's what I took from that moment that they had. What did you think?
I didn't think he was done. I think she was kind of I don't know, considering his request. And I don't feel... I don't know. He didn't look, to me, he didn't look okay, I'm over it.
Right.
He just,
if you walk away from me after I'm come back to me and you just walk away, I'm going to be all right, why am I putting all the effort into this relationship? I'd be no. Sure. We're good. We're good. Thank you.
It feels like a 70-30 at this point. Yeah. So let me ask you this. Would you guys be happy, sad if they do call it quits?
I'd be mixed. I'd be sad for Eve because I don't know what to expect of her relationship with Villanelle. I don't think it's going to be a healthy relationship or what she really thinks it's going to be in her brain. I think she romanticizes it a lot. So I don't know if she's going to be fulfilled with Villanelle. But I also don't see her fulfilled with Nico. So I'm kind of torn about their relationship and how...
That is a good point. It's almost like, okay, well, what can happen? I think we touched on this before where, say they do get together, are they going to move away and start a new life?
Yeah, like,
is there any normalcy that can ever
is it realistic
become of this relationship?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's almost that desire and that push and pull of like being watched and watching each other that creates that tension and that lust for each other. But if they're just together, is it going to be boring? And then there's...
Yeah, if the game is gone, is there any... Because they really don't know each other that well, right? They have this fun cat and mouse game, but it's not like they're going on dates. They haven't had a normal relationship. Sit down together and talk about things. So we don't know if that could actually even be a relationship when they do come face to face. But at the same time, like you said, if she stays with Nico, is she just going to forever be pretending to be fulfilled, which we know her mind, we know the inside of her a little bit more now that I don't think Eve can live that life. That's not her. She will be bored with that type of life.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think part of their, it's the, them chasing and all of that. So I don't really feel, they don't know each other well enough really to say, oh, okay, I want to be in a relationship with you. It's like, okay, maybe it's the excitement of, chasing the person and, watching the person that they're both turned on by.
Yeah.
Well, we need to take a break from that. I'm like, I need to process this. We do have a special, I can never say that word, message to everyone out there watching.
Hey guys, before we move on to our next topic, we just wanted to say thank you for making us the ESPN of TV talk. So for us to continue to grow, we'll need your help. So if you're on YouTube right now, then like, subscribe, give us the thumbs up. If you're on iTunes, then give us 5 stars. We deserve it. So no matter where you are, leave us a comment, especially after the live, because those comments stay around and the live ones don't. So leave us a comment, please do. And being a part of AfterBuzz has meant so much to all of us, and we truly appreciate the opportunity to do what we love. So thank you guys so much, and keep enjoying all of our shows.
You guys are the best, and let us know what you're thinking. We love to hear you guys' thoughts and comments. We love reading them.
Yes, especially with so much going on, it all helps to kind of, because we have our theories, but there's so many different twists and turns a show can take.
Right,
that
exactly.
It'd be fun to play along is what we're saying. Moving on to playing along, Villanelle definitely had some fun with this most recent kill. She talk about life imitating art. She saw this photo. She clearly is bored of this. It's so typical Villanelle character to see all these beautiful paintings and all of these prize-winning pieces, and she's just fascinated in the one where it was like a man hanging upside down, but it looked like was it a man?
She said it looked like the
middle section looked
he was like
bacon,
right?
right?
She's like, it looks like bacon. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
So of course,
Villanelle.
this is where we see her inspiration comes from, and then she performs this live kill for all these people who think it is fun. They think it's a joke. But it quickly gets really bloody, and this is where I have to look away on parts like this.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was the husband she was watching until later, until I saw the wife. Did you guys catch that early before?
What do you mean? I mean, I caught it when he was hanging and he was apologizing to his wife.
Well, yeah, I didn't know that the guy that was before then that he was a husband.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was like, oh. So she was just following. I was following this random guy. I was like, oh, but I loved the whole that was intense.
The pig thing was definitely creepy.
Oh, it was intense.
But it was cool. It kind of reminded me of what the horror films that we see nowadays are doing with the pig's head and the weird clown mask. It's something about something pigs are cute and clowns are supposed to be cute, but something about that childlike thing, which even brings back into Villanelle. She likes the weird little kid stuff. So I'm sure that was, she's bored with this obviously, but she wanted to make that as much fun as she possibly could. And I think she did.
Yeah.
But in my head, I'm like, how is she not going to get caught? How does she escape with all of these people watching? I know her face is covered, but how can she possibly just escape that quickly?
Right. I mean, have you guys been to the red light district in Amsterdam?
I have not.
I've been there, yeah, and security is really strict there because they have a lot of tourists. Obviously, if you're in Amsterdam, a lot of people are interested in what the red light district is, and they actually give tours that you can go at night. And so, yeah, it was very interesting the fact that you brought up security. There's security everywhere. Like, you can't film, you can't get away with anything in there. It's very like top secret. The women are in the window displays, but you can't have your camera out or phones out. It's very strict.
Interesting. So I can't help but think realistically, but I mean, she's hired for a reason. She knows what she's doing. So I'm sure she tapped into the cameras or did whatever she needed to do to figure it out. But I also like that this is a show with a lot of women writers.
Right.
So I think it was cool that they chose the plot involving human trafficking and prostitution, and to kind of, in my head, that brought more awareness to it.
Yeah.
And she's killing the dirtbag, and it's gruesome, and it's a little crazy,
and
but
it's so true because it's like an attraction,
bringing light to something that needs to be talked about.
Exactly.
So I definitely feel like there is some strategic, the power of the women panel that made that happen.
Definitely. Because it was really gross to see this happening to this man and the viewers taking it like, oh, I want to try that. I've seen that. It was just really disturbing, the whole thing, as he was dangling and everyone else was just like, ooh, and eyeing. And I was just
pretty gross that's how fascinated a lot of people get with
that's how it is. People are fascinated. Like the energy there, the men that are watching from the windows, it's very gross and it's very uncomfortable.
But it's crazy to think that his wife paid for that to happen, and she said there watched it. So that was kind of grisly too.
Yeah.
The whole situation. I mean, I'm glad she got the guy, but oh man, it was a cool writing though. I like that they showed her getting her inspiration. It was very typical of her to only like that piece.
Her flair.
And then and then she made it very Villanelle style, but she's bored. She's bored with her job right now. She clearly is thinking about Eve. She's getting jealous. And then we see a whole new side to her that she turns to drugs. We see the rejection even more when she's in the club. She makes eyes with this girl. She wants that reciprocation, doesn't get it. So that's kind of just like another jab in her heart.
Yeah.
How do you guys feel about what we're seeing with her character? Does this make her weaker? Does this just make her more human? Do we think that her being vulnerable could potentially get her into trouble if she's starting to, because I mean, she almost killed the girl in the bathroom in front of everyone. That could have, if Constance didn't step in, who knows what could have happened to her.
Yeah,
she would have been arrested.
Losing control.
She is, exactly. She's losing control.
She's losing her essence, and she's kind of, she's just letting emotion take over. And I see that being good and bad. I can see that being good for Eve, probably eventually developing a true relationship with Eve, being able to open up. But at the moment, it seems like it's going down a dark place for her. What do you think?
Well, I mean, a couple things. One, I feel like realistically, she and Eve aren't going to be together because she's a murderer. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Unless they completely decide to move away and start all over.
Or not even that. Unless kind of with Constantine, because I'm sure Constantine killed people. So unless they're on the run and they give her and she turns over someone, realistically, she's going to go to jail. So that's one thing.
She's just going to go to jail.
I mean, she's going to go to jail or she's going to get killed. That's what happens to murderers.
Unless she were to sacrifice herself for Eve, if that were to happen.
Yeah,
I can see
what I'm
that.
saying? So realistically, I don't think they're going to, be in a relationship. But I think the idea is, and I think it's valid, is that, Constantine said to her, I think your feelings for Eve are making you weaker. And they are, because in the earlier episode, Carolyn told Constantine, oh, well, if someone took my son and he wasn't around me, I was fine because I've protected myself from actually really loving my son. And so that's what she basically said to Constantine in the last episode.
Right.
And now in this episode, we see that as Villanelle starts to get feelings, now it is making her weaker.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think that is going to be kind of probably how they're going to catch her, I would think.
Delia, you make a really good point, which I actually didn't consider before. We're talking about how could this ever be a real relationship, but maybe seeing the deeper sides of her is a way to tell the audience that this is possible. Maybe. I'm trying to be hopeful. Even if it's the worst kind of twisted dark love, I still want it to work out.
I still want it to work. I think that's what draws me in. It's because they don't work realistically for me, but I am so in with them. I just want to know how it's going to end.
Sometimes love doesn't make sense.
Sometimes it just doesn't, girl. Tell me about it.
So, maybe seeing this side of her means that she, obviously, it's not just a fun game. There are real feelings there.
Yeah.
And especially turning to drugs, it's like, hopefully she doesn't continue that path, because she'll get sloppy for sure.
And I'm loving Villanelle more and more. It's kind of making me love her. Like, I've always admired.
You fall in love with her struggle.
Yeah, I'm like, girl, I got you. I'm with you. Like, you're hurting.
It's fine. You're killing everyone.
You're killing everyone. You're just having a moment. It's like, I'm understanding why she's acting that way. When before I'd be like, she's just crazy.
Right.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. That's certainly true. Yeah.
And then, of course, the last couple episodes, we've been all about this ghost killer. She's making Villanelle more jealous, which is another, if there's one thing to make a girl crazy, it would be jealousy.
Yeah.
So we're seeing that tug at her heartstrings at the same time of not getting attention from Eve. She's just going through a lot right now. She's feeling rejected. And I think even if you're a killer, rejection sucks.
Yeah.
So she's dealing with all of this. And she so we're left trying to figure out who this other mystery person is. And they know that she's a clean killer. They know that she wants it to be painless. So they're like finding clues that typically don't add up to your average killer. She wants it to be, better for the people that she's killing. She's smart and strategic. And we finally see her at the end, which we were just talking about, the way that she confronts her in front of her kids and the money. I thought that was brilliant. What did you guys think of that scene?
That was so good. I loved it. I didn't know how she was going to approach her, because I didn't even know that was
right. I had no idea what was going on. I'm like, take the money. What are you doing?
Yeah, I was like, why are we spending 10 minutes on like a dollar bill that we're talking about? I was like, just either one of you just take it. And then like when I saw the laser, I was like, oh, okay.
Okay, girl.
You're the killer. I was like, oh, because she had children. I didn't even think about a killer having a family. That was like insane to me. I was like, oh, there's a twist.
I know.
There's the twist.
A killer with kids.
Yeah, that was really, I think it was really well done. It was very surprising. I think it's interesting. It kind of goes towards the idea that this killer is, she's caring, or she's nice, or she's compassionate, even though, just as Villanelle, that she's a hired killer. So it's interesting to see her. Okay, so I guess she's not totally a sociopath, I guess.
She's just smart.
So now she's here with her family at the school, at the playground. So
Speaking of twist, when Hugo was talking with Eve about her excitement for the ghost, he asks her about Villanelle, and he clearly sees that there's a game between them, and he's saying, what is it about her? Do you want to be watched, or do you like watching her? And she opens up to him. I don't know if it was the crack in the orphans and the fries that she was eating that made her. That was disgusting, by the way, that reference they made. That was a little far with that one.
You don't want to eat orphans?
Yeah, I was like, ew, that was too far.
It's too far?
Yeah, I'm sure it tasted good, but gross. But I don't know if it was that made her just completely open up, because normally you would think that she's like, what are you talking about? I'm not going to admit to that. But she fully let him in acknowledging the fact that she does like it, and they both talked about the reasons that they wanted to work in that field. They like the excitement. There's that part of them that keeps them alive in a sense, because they don't want to die of boredom, like he said.
Yeah.
And then for the ultimate plot twist, he tries to kiss her. What was that?
Yeah, but it's Hugo, right? He's just a dog.
Right. Well, we say that, but then what does that say about Eve's character? How confused is she in her relationship if one part of her is with Villanelle, another part is with Nico, and she didn't kiss him, but she almost did. So there's a part of her that considered that.
You know what I think is for Eve is that she just wants to be desired, and she wants to be wanted. Villanelle very clearly is after her, and she loves feeling that someone's interested. Like, I think Nico does love her, but he's not lusting after her. I think that's a little bit of a
it's not enough that she needs.
It's missing from the relationship also. And I think he asked her those questions because now Villanelle and Eve, everybody kind of knows about their attraction to each other. It's kind of hard to deny at this point. Like almost everyone's aware of it, right?
Yeah, I mean, it seems like she has a fixation on Villanelle, and then clearly Villanelle has one on her. So I think it is sort of obvious to her team as well, for sure.
Yeah.
And then we see the team almost shutting her down when Eve asks questions. Do we think Villanelle did it? Anytime she's brought up, we see her being redirected. They don't want her to focus on Villanelle.
Yeah.
So
Especially
I think the
Carolyn.
more people, yeah, right, Carolyn especially, the more people that notice, I think the more deeper she's digging in the hole before it eventually is going to explode. She's going to get caught. But with Hugo, do we think that was just a fun little scene, or do we think that might actually move on and go forward?
I don't think Hugo and Eve are going to have a thing. I
hope
think
not, because I agree with you. He's just a dog.
Hugo is. They
talk about how he's always talking about sex, right?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I don't think so either, because I feel like even when she was, she went to see Aaron Peel or whatever, I feel like each week Eve is leaning more and more towards women. I mean, obviously you can be bi, of course, but I feel like her attraction is leaning more towards women than men anyway. So.
Yeah, agreed.
Can't wait to see what happens. This is getting real good. We're like in it now. Well, Delia, Erica, thank you guys for your input and joining the conversation with all of these. It's hard to pick just a couple topics when there's so much going on and all these little clues we want to dissect. Sure. But moving right along into our special segment, we have Woman of the Week, and drumroll if we picked a good or bad guy this week. Ooh, our Wonder Woman music. There we go.
Love it.
So we did go with a good guy this week. We went with none other than Oprah herself. And I specifically wanted to highlight Oprah because she's doing work with Prince Harry in mental health. It's actually going to be for a TV series airing on Apple TV in 2020. And her whole concept is kind of taking away the stigma that, hey, we're all humans. And when you take someone like Oprah and someone like Prince Harry that are in such a high light that most people probably think the royals are pretty much perfect, and it's Oprah, she can do no wrong, praise Oprah. But the fact that people like that are speaking about the struggles, I'm really excited to see what she does with that. And I don't know if you guys listen to her podcast, Super Soul Sunday. It's a great way to start your day. Sometimes I just feel stressed. I'm like, come on, girl, help me out. And it really does inspire. And I'm excited to see what she's going to do with this. And 2020 is far, but it's not that far. So
yeah, it's exciting. I love Oprah. I think the best thing about her, and I'll tell you why, is that she's a student and a teacher at the exact same time. And it just tells me, like, you can achieve a certain level in life, but you're still constantly growing and still needing knowledge. And just the way that she's with people is amazing to watch. Just how she interacts with other people.
There's a comfort about her where you're like, I will tell you everything that I know about myself from age 2. Like, you just want to spill your guts to her because you feel safe with her.
Yeah.
Did you guys? She's grown so much, and she started from such humble beginnings, and she's had struggles and overcome them to such an amazing magnitude. So there's nothing to really say negative about her per se.
Have you guys watched Oprah and James Corden when she makes him cry? Just literally she goes on his show and 5 seconds in he's like, I hear that you have this ability to make people cry. And she's like, I don't like to use it very often. Literally, she gets him to start crying. You guys, if you haven't watched it, check it out.
I need to watch that.
Check it out
because I love him too.
It's so good.
He's funny.
Literally, he's just like, okay, stop. I can't. It's so good.
It's like you want to be cool in front of celebrities if you were to meet them, but I don't think there's any being cool in front of Oprah. I'd be like, hey, Haley, my name is, hi. I don't think I could form words around her.
The tears just start coming if you were to meet her. Oh my gosh,
yeah. Well, we're excited to see what she's going to do with that. And so that is why we wanted to highlight her for Woman of the Week. Maybe next week we'll have the complete opposite. Erica's good with those stories, so maybe we'll have someone. But
we'll have a different Wonder Woman next week.
We love Erica's stories. These are so good.
I know, that's the thing, talking about why we're so attracted to these characters. There is something, and I know psychology has studied this, there's something so exciting about doing what you're not supposed to do, the taboo of it all. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of sick. It almost makes you wonder, why we're so into documentaries that are horrible. It's just this thing that you would never do, but I think it's because hopefully we would never do these things. It is that much more interesting to see.
Yeah.
I just want to study their brains.
Yeah, I think that's what it is, a fascination.
What in you makes you different than the next person that would never consider doing something like that.
Or they do consider it, but don't actually act on it. Because I think we all have dark thoughts. I think that's part of what...
What are you saying, dude? I'm just kidding.
Calling me out here.
Right.
No, but we all have had, like, dark thoughts. But the fact that we're not going to act on it, but some people do, and you actually get to see these thoughts played out and the consequences of them, I think it's what's fascinating.
That's a healthy way to put it. Yes, I would say. It's not like you want to live some fantasy. No. It's like, I'm just curious.
Yeah.
We'll leave it at that. I know you have some news for us.
Yes, I do.
AfterBuzz TV News.
So there was the British Academy celebrated the best of behind the scenes, the BAFTA TV Craft Awards. So the hit show that we are talking about, Killing Eve, was actually nominated for Best Original Music and Sound Fiction. And also the BAFTA TV Awards taking place May 12th. Killing Eve will be competing for the Best Drama Series. And I mean, like, it's pretty great. So I'm hoping that they walk away with some great awards.
I think we've got a real shot because the buzz about this show from season 1 really built it up, and I think season 2 is really, really carrying its weight well so far. We even heard a couple girls just walking through the studio saying, have you watched it? I love that show. I'm obsessed with it.
So good.
I love the woman power behind it too. Like, I'm gonna be that girl just to be like, yes, it's all about the women right now. And Sandra Oh, clearly a really big lead character. I think that name and her likeness in general helps out. And then just Villanelle meeting her character and loving this series. I really hope that we can see it take off.
Yeah, hopefully we'll have some great news about the BAFTA Awards. And
wait, when did you say it was?
May 12th.
Okay, so everyone can watch it May 12th, and we can root for our favorite show and see what happens.
Yeah.
All right, so last to tie up this 2-part episode, we want to talk about predictions for what we think is going to happen next.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Who wants to take it off first?
Okay, so I do think that Nico's done with Eve, at least for the time being. That's the way I felt it. You had different opinions, and I understand. But I also am very curious as to the connection with the ghost assassin, and if they're going to keep using her as a way to distract Eve, because honestly, she did her job, so now she can go back to focusing on Villanelle. So I'm hoping that they're going to be more times where they're going to meet together. And like,
what do we think of that mirror scene?
Well, I thought it was more about what the showrunner had talked about mirrors, where they were talking about the fact that there's going to be a lot of that going back. Like, they're just starting to see, because Villanelle ended with a smile. I don't know if you caught that. When she was in the mirror, she smiled, and then Eve stayed with like a very serious face. So they were kind of like changing personality for a second.
Not to make it just about looks, but Villanelle looked so beautiful in that scene. I was just like,
she's gorgeous.
She really, that helps views, just saying.
I also say great fashion moments. I'm predicting a lot of more amazing.
They're having fun with that. Those earrings.
For sure. Okay, so again, I do feel like I don't think Nico really is strong enough to leave, to be honest. And again, I don't know. I'm still not feeling him. So I feel like, I don't know. I still feel like Nico might be on the other side. I really do. And I think I want to see what happens more with Constantine and Villanelle, because I kind of feel like there should be some repercussions for Constantine going solo. Like, you don't just come back from the dead and now you go back to work on your own, like as your own sort of hired assassin.
Right.
So I definitely feel like there's going to be some repercussions from the 12 against Constantine now that he's on the run.
Mm-hmm. That's a good point.
That is a good point. I think we're going to see more with this ghost killer, and I think she's going to be a vital character in jealousy between Villanelle and Eve, especially because the way they described her killing us so clean. I have a theory that she is a good person and she's killing for a reason. I don't think she's just vicious. Not to say there's ever a good reason. She's putting that out there to start killing people. But I think that
if you have one,
Haley's gonna understand.
This would be the way to do it. But just the way that she doesn't want to inflict pain, she wants to keep it clean. It tells me that there's obviously a clear motive that she has and clear reasons. So I'm almost thinking that maybe Eve will feel sympathy for her and maybe she'll get close to her in a weird way because Eve likes these dark characters.
Do you think she will, or do you think she'll be bored with her?
It depends. I want to kind of see her story a little bit more, and I'm hoping that we don't have to wait too long to find out because I don't see her disappearing. I don't think they would build this up to just show us who it is and then it be done unless there's someone else in the mix. I mean, who knows what direction this could take, but I would like to see that develop a little more.
Yeah, because I don't know if they really, I think they kind of know it's her, but I don't know if they really have any direct evidence that she's in the rooms and that, you know what I mean? Like, they would have to really have people to identify her. I don't think she's leaving DNA. Like, do they really have the evidence to even convict her anyway?
So you think it might not even be her?
No, I think it is her, but I don't think they can prove that it's her. Like, I don't think they can put her in jail, like, next episode, because I don't think that she left anything really behind.
Well, they'll probably ask her for more information. Like, they'll go through the process of, like, figuring out where she's in the circle and with Peel. Was that the guy's name?
Alistair Peel was the guy, the father, I think.
And seeing what that connection was, because there's so many deaths just based around his dad and his family. So there's still a lot of question marks there.
Right. I'm a little confused with putting the pieces together. I think that's where they want to keep us right now, where we know just enough to try and figure it out. But I'm interested to see how the writers are going to pull that all together, and they will, but they're going to make us wait for it.
Yeah, with a nice little bow.
Put a little bow on top. Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, thank you guys. That does it for us. We were covering episode 3 and 4, so we'll see you next Sunday for episode 5. I am Haley J. You can see me on Instagram and Twitter at HeyJ, HAYJ_.
And I'm Delia Gomez. You can find me on Instagram and on Twitter at It's Delia Gomez.
And I'm Erica Edwards. You can follow me on all of my social media at Erica, ERIKA, as in Door Edwards.
See you next Sunday, guys.
Bye.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.